In episode 5 of The Penguin Season 1, things get chaotic as the rivalry between Oz and Sofia intensifies.
From this point on, I am a gigante. And this is a new family now.
After escaping the nightclub, Oz and Victor burn the car in the street. This act shows Oz's meticulous nature in covering his tracks and taking out any evidence that might lead back to him. It's a symbolic moment for Oz as he distances himself from the literal and metaphorical fire he left behind at the nightclub. Oz is not too worried about Sofia taking revenge, despite Victor's concerns. This scene reinforces Oz's overconfidence in his abilities and his ambition. He appreciates Victor's loyalty in rescuing him, showing how he manipulates people by feeding their need for validation. Oz's move to kidnap Taj, Maroni's son, highlights his cunning and willingness to take drastic measures to maintain control over Gotham's criminal underworld. Oz makes a bold play, forcing Nadia to exchange Taj for a shipment of mushrooms that she stole from him. This negotiation displays Oz's growing influence and his readiness to take advantage of any leverage he can get. While Maroni and Nadia reluctantly agree to the terms, it's clear that this uneasy alliance will have deadly consequences. Oz's tactics here are risky, but they illustrate his rise to power and how far he's willing to go to secure his position. A major development in this episode is Sofia's apparent attack on the Falcone estate. When Oz hears about the gas leak that killed nearly everyone at the estate, he realizes that Sofia did the work for him by wiping out most of the Falcone family. This massacre marks a significant power shift in Gotham. Sofia's cold and calculated methods to gain control are shocking, but they reveal her deep trauma and ruthlessness. The death of the Falcone family benefits Oz, but it also sets up a brewing conflict between him and Sofia, who are both vying for control of the criminal empire. Oz orchestrates the assassination of Maroni in prison, but things go wrong when Maroni survives the attempt. Maroni's resilience adds another layer of tension, as he now poses a direct threat to Oz's life. Maroni's survival is a reminder that Gotham's underworld is filled with dangerous players, and no one is safe, not even Oz. This failed assassination creates a parallel between Oz's overconfidence and his growing vulnerability. Maroni's retaliation is inevitable, and Oz will have to stay ahead if he wants to maintain control. Oz assigns Victor to take care of his mother, Frances, showing that he trusts him with his most personal matters. However, Oz's decision to send his mother into hiding reveals his growing paranoia as the threats around him multiply. Victor, who has proven loyal so far, is once again put in a position where he must juggle his loyalty to Oz and his own personal concerns. Victor's journey back to his old neighborhood also serves as a reminder of his own past and struggles, which may influence his decisions moving forward. His loyalty to Oz is unquestionable for now, but the episode hints that Victor may eventually face a dilemma. The climactic moment of the episode comes during the exchange between Oz and Nadia. The tension escalates into a brutal gunfight that ends with Oz lighting both Nadia and Taj on fire. This shocking moment cements Oz's violent approach to problem-solving and further emphasizes his transformation into a true crime boss. However, Oz's victory is short-lived. After retrieving the mushrooms, Oz discovers that most of them have died, symbolizing how his plans, no matter how well orchestrated, often backfire. To make matters worse, Maroni calls Oz, revealing that he survived the assassination attempt and is coming for revenge. This sets up the next phase of their rivalry, making it clear that the war for Gotham's underworld is far from over. At the beginning of The Penguin Episode 5, Oz and Victor set fire to the Penguin's already damaged purple Maserati. While it burns, Oz reveals another story about Rex Calabrese, a Gotham gangster whom Cobb looked up to when he was a kid. Apparently, Rex drove a gold Cadillac with white leather seats, a car Oz refers to as his chariot. To that end, it's clear that the purple Maserati was inspired by Rex, a chariot Oz had been able to call his very own. Hailing from the original DC Comics, Rex was indeed an older crime boss in Gotham known as the Lion before he was pushed out by the Falcones. Calabrese is also the father of Selina Kyle in certain continuities. Rex was first mentioned in the Penguin's premiere, and it wouldn't be surprising if he's mentioned again in future episodes, seeing how he was seemingly Oz's idol growing up. following the murder of her own family members, which she made to look like a gas leak. Sofia Falcone encounters none other than GCPD Police Chief Mackenzie Bach outside the Falcone mansion. Played by Con O'Neill, Bach questions the suspicious nature of the murders, especially considering they all belong to one of Gotham's most prominent crime families. Bach was first seen in 2022's The Batman, where he butted heads with both Lieutenant Jim Gordon and the Dark Knight himself. It's also important to note that Bach tells Sofia that a new era is coming for Gotham, especially due to Mayor-elect Bella Real's intentions to crack down on crime and corruption. However, Sofia also reminds him that the GCPD is far from blameless, seeing as how several of its officers have been on the Falcone's payroll and were receiving kickbacks, not to mention involvement in the Gotham Renewal Fund conspiracy. Regardless, it's going to be very exciting to see how the GCPD will respond as Gotham's underworld continues to evolve. When Oz sends Victor to get his mother someplace safe, a movie is seen playing in Francis' apartment. This movie is 1980's Gloria, starring Gina Rowlands. The movie details the story of a gangster's former girlfriend who protects and is on the run with a young boy being tracked by the mob for information. As such, it's a rather fitting movie to be playing in the background, considering that the Penguin itself fits within the gangster genre as well. After Penguin kills Taj and Nadia Maroni and escapes with part of the Bliss supply, an old campaign billboard can be seen from Don Mitchell Jr.'s mayoral run. First seen in 2022's The Batman, Don Mitchell Jr. was Gotham's original corrupt mayor who was involved in the Gotham Renewal Fund conspiracy. As such, he was also the Riddler's first victim, his murder serving as the movie's opening scene before Edward Nashton taped up his face and left his first riddle for Batman and the GCPD. Ironically, the billboard's slogan says, "See continuity for Gotham," exactly the reason why Riddler killed Mitchell, due to what would have been the continuation of his corruption had he been reelected. After all, Don Mitchell Jr. was complicit in the crimes of the Falcones. To that end, one of Riddler's green question marks can be seen spray-painted on the billboard, showing that Edward Nashton's followers haven't forgotten what the Riddler was fighting against. Finding one of her mother's old coats with her maiden name embroidered on the inside, Sofia Falcone decides to take the last name Gigante, leaving her father's name and legacy buried in the past. The same goes for the Falcone crime family, with Sofia officially renaming her new criminal empire the Gigantes before buying her men's ongoing loyalty with the money her father had kept for himself. As such, this is also a very cool twist from the original DC Comics. On the page, Sofia's full name was Sofia Falcone Gigante, as she was married to Rocco Gigante. However, the new twist in the Penguin Episode 5, with the name coming from her mother, carries far more narrative significance. Sofia is choosing to honor the member of her family who didn't betray her and was similarly betrayed, just as Sofia herself was. When Victor takes Francis to hide out in a condemned part of Crown Point, a large poster can be seen promoting Gotham's premier basketball team. While it's hard to make out, it does look as though the name of the team is the Gotham Guardsmen, the same name the team has in the comics as well as in Batman v Superman. However, it's worth noting that the basketball team has also gone by the Gotham Knights in other continuities as well. The condemned building itself that Victor takes Francis to is named the Zoo, a large collection of condos in Crown Point. While it might be a stretch, this may be a potential reference to Danny DeVito's Penguin in Batman Returns, who had been based out of Gotham's old zoo. DeVito's Oswald Cobblepot specifically had his lair within the zoo's Arctic world, complete with a collection of real-life penguins. Reminded of his childhood with his brothers, Oz and Victor uncover Gotham's old trolley system underneath Crown Point. Exploring the tunnels, the duo eventually discovers a central hub and a generator, realizing that the space could serve as the perfect base of operations going forward. Not only is the trolley system abandoned and largely forgotten, but its humidity means it's perfect for getting the Bliss operations back up and running. Keeping that in mind, Penguin's new base does mirror the Batcave seen in the Batman. After all, Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne built his own secret hideout in the similarly decommissioned Wayne Terminus station located underground. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.